Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Raquel Mornings, and I'm back with another episode of Mood 24/7. And I'm so lucky to have a special guest with me here to talk about HBCUs versus PWIs. We are so excited. We can't wait to get into it. But first, I'm going to let her introduce herself. Go ahead, girl.
Hey everyone, my name is Shauna, aka Shawn Dawn. Yeah, I'm excited, so let's get started.
Okay, great. So Shauna didn't say, but she is a vlogger. So make sure you guys, I'm gonna post it definitely at the end of the video. I have all her information up, all her handles. Make sure you guys go follow her at the end. All right. So let's get into it because we both went to an HBCU and I went and got my master's at a PWI. So we both went to PWIs. Let's talk about the difference. And I mean, people don't know, but there is like a real big difference between
Yes.
the two. So since we first both went to an HBCU, let's talk about that. How did you like your experience at Alabama State?
Honestly, I wish I never left. Alabama State was the best thing that has ever happened to me. And I don't, it felt like a family. Everybody was saying, oh, don't go to an HBCU. It's just like high school and all this other crap. But honestly, it was way more than that. And it was very welcoming and just, you were just able to basically build yourself up around people that actually cared, and that's what I really like I loved about it. Like, it was just very just warming, so I guess warming, like.
I'm trying. Yes, no, I understand what you're talking about as far as like feeling the warmth and stuff from that HBCU family. It was definitely a culture shock for me personally, only because my whole entire life I've been like around nothing but white people. I mean, there's
Mhm.
nothing wrong with that, but
Yeah.
the diversity I was surrounded with was very little. So going to a HBCU and just being around people like that just wanted to thrive and wanted to make something of themselves and perfect their crafts and that were serious about going to school was something like completely different from all the things that I've heard. And because I mean, like when you grow up with people who are not the same skin tone as you tend to lack a lot of knowledge about what you know, about the
I
history and stuff. And so, like you were saying, like Alabama State, like just taught so much. It really did. And like, what is one of the biggest takeaways you had from Alabama State?
um let's see. If I didn't have it, somebody had me. So
Mm.
like, it didn't matter, and vice versa. So with vehicles, getting places, even down to food and clothing, like if you didn't have it, the next person had it, and it wasn't any type of shame or anything. It wasn't bad. It was always just, I got your back if you have my back type of thing. So that was very, very big. And I really learned the definition of your college friends can be lifelong friends, because
Yeah.
the people I met in college, especially at Alabama State mainly, they're probably the closest people to me ever. Like bridesmaids, maid of honor, babies. They're like those type of people to me. So I'm very blessed with that. Like just genuine friendships, I guess.
Yes, no, I definitely have to say that because I know typically I'm terrible with like keeping in contact with friends in the past. Like I'm a terrible person to text. Like I
I
take
am
forever
too.
to respond.
I
It's
am
so
too.
bad. But like my friends, they always just make sure they're checking on me, they're hitting me up like constantly. I mean, still to this day, like we were just on the phone the other day and everyone's like, so when is our reunion? And I'm like, oh yeah, like let's meet up, let's do something. And it's so interesting because even over time, like from high school, when you think, you know, that's the end of the world, these are people who are going to matter the rest of your life, like little do you know you have so much life to live. But just besides that factor, like, you know, I thought, you know, I had a wide range of friends in high school. And then like when you graduate, you realize it's not the same. Like definitely going to college and meeting new friends and having your friend base there, it's so much different than your high school friends. Now, I still love my high school friends.
Oh, love them.
Don't, yeah, don't get
Love
any
them.
ideas. I still love y'all. Y'all are still my home dogs, the whole 9 yards. I love y'all just as much. Um, but yeah, it's so different. And like you were saying, like I can honestly remember living in Estelle, which is one of the freshman dorms on campus. And yes, yes. Which is one of the freshman dorms on campus. And I remember like just being in the group meet and everyone's like, do you have this? Do you have that? I need someone to
Literally.
braid my hair. I need someone to do this. And like girls would literally be like, oh, I got you. Come to my room. 103, come to my room, be, whatever. And like literally that's how the community is. It's like if you don't have yourself, someone else is gonna have you. And especially like with your friends, like there's been times where we've gone out to eat and someone's been like, oh, I'm not eating, but you'll hear someone be like, okay, like why aren't you eating? And they'll be like, oh, I'm just not trying to pay for it. I'm trying to, save my money. And be like, don't worry about it. I got you.
I got
Just
you.
stuff like that. And you don't really come across those friendships as like often as people think. And those are so rare. So, so, so very rare. And that's something that I've always appreciated about Alabama State. And so for you to say that is like, that's like, yeah, that's cherry on the cake. I would say I will always love the people that I've met there and I've gotten to know over time and things of the sort. I would say, what is probably one of the hardest things that you've had to endure while at Alabama State?
Um, hmm. Honestly, all of my hardships at Alabama State were very like more so like on the personal level. It had nothing to even do with Alabama. Like even the fact of me leaving Alabama State was nothing. It didn't even have anything to do with Alabama. So honestly, like probably I don't know. I loved it so much. Probably probably the calf sometimes. So
Oh,
like, oh no, definitely. I'm so glad I remember that. There is no reason why food just should stop. I should be able to eat like I should be able to eat like longer periods. It shouldn't be oh, you missed breakfast, come back 3 hours later for lunch, or you missed lunch, come no. And then oh, we don't have any more of this right now. So just, come back tomorrow type thing. No. And then even with sides and things of that nature, like I got over fried chicken Wednesday after the second Wednesday. I was done. Um, it just things of that nature. It's just like for the culture, it was cool and everything, and just for the experience, but it was just like, I'm hungry. I want variety. I like food. I love food. Like that's like my language, my love language, my everything. So that was just so much for me. And like not having that many options, I guess, at the HBC. Like if we're having chicken, fish, and this, that's all we're having. It isn't oh, you can go over there. And sometimes the pizza wasn't even always there. I don't even think I liked the pizza if I'm really thinking about it. I think the only thing I really liked was the fries. I used to eat fries every day. So yeah, like that, the food. Like if we could just get more funding in that area,
oh yeah,
that would be very because I know it's not the school's fault. It's what the school is giving.
right.
Um,
Yeah, most definitely. Now, Alabama State, listen, we are not here to be in a war with you guys. We still love and support you guys tremendously. And I'm pretty sure if you ask a student right now, they'll probably say the same thing, but still love you guys and support you guys tremendously.
the best
But what
HBCU out there.
exactly, exactly. No, but do you remember the time, a real throwback, when they used to do fried chicken Wednesdays on Snapchat, how popular that was?
Oh yes, yes.
That was
Like
so
yeah.
popular. It was like, wasn't it like it was like an HBCU Snapchat where you had to like click on it and they would show the different
Just different
cafeterias.
HBCUs, like different HBCUs showing how lit the calf was. And it wasn't even just about the food. It was literally the entertainment, the music, the dancing. Everything was just a celebration. especially on Fried Chicken Wednesdays. Like it was lit. Like it was just lit. Like
it was definitely a party. I feel like that's probably when for those of you who don't know what a mixer is when we used to have literal parties in the cab. Like we would have a DJ come out, people would be dancing in the middle of the floor. I mean, you would hear like, hey, and like all you could hear is music while you're trying to eat. Forget socializing that day because you can't hear each other.
you
All
can't.
you hear
You have to walk out the cab, and even walking out, you'll still hear the music blaring. Like yeah,
yes, very much so. Like it's just boom, boom. That's all you hear. That's all you hear. I used to miss that so much. One of the things that I can also say that I miss, I don't know about you, but if you all know how the cafeteria is set up, it goes up on the sides and then you have straight down the middle. I
oh
used to
my
miss throwback. It's really a throwback. I used to miss, and I mean, and this isn't in every cafeteria, so don't just take this as like, specific to HBCUs, but I seriously used to miss walking up the middle. Like those were the days I was best dressed. You did not like that?
You always were dressed though. Like you were amazing.
Stop.
I used to be so nervous because I can't see or hear. So like I'll be walking and I'll just hear Shawn Dawn because at Alabama State, all the people knew me as like Shawn Dawn, Shawn Dawn. So I'll just hear Shawn Dawn, Shawn Dawn. I'm just like, who are you people? But then I'll realize who it is. I'm just like, oh hi. So I always walk on the sides. I would have to sit down first. I did not like the middle. I would sit down first, see where everybody is, and then I will go to the different tables and say hey to everybody. But just walking through the middle, it was just like, I know you guys are looking at me. Like,
I know the attention is on me, and I can't fall. I cannot, because I mean, if you fell, and this is anywhere. This is not just in a like cafeteria. And I read a meme about this, so it's at all HBCUs. I'm being very broad now. If you fell in front of a crowd, it was someone's clapping or someone saying ooh, or it's a
you're being recorded too. How did you magically just have the phone out and just know, oh, somebody's gonna do this at this time? You're gonna be recorded. Like, how do you catch the fall? I didn't even know I was gonna fall, but you knew. Like, yeah. I just try to avoid that at all costs. Like
yes. And then what would be the craziest thing is like they would be like focusing on you. You get what I'm saying? On the video, focusing on you. Like, why are you even recording me? I don't know you.
I don't know you. Like literally. Oh my God.
Yes. One of the things that I can honestly say I do appreciate about HBCUs is that it is a big family, like in general, that like if you went to an HBCU, automatically the next person you could see, and I can't believe I'm about to say these words, but you could see an A&M person. Ooh. And still be happy and be like, oh my gosh, girl, I want to say, and then y'all have an instant connection. And
I can agree with that.
Yeah. So, like, do you think you can say it's the same for PWIs? Like, I mean, probably not as far as it goes, but like, as far as going to like maybe a college similar, like, oh, you went to blah, 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 I went to Southern.
Kind of, but not as lit as the HBCU part. Okay. But yeah, no, I do because when I tell people like, because I went to Southern, so when I say Southern, and then you'll have other people like, oh, well, I went to State, so it's like a back and forth. So I guess it really just, I guess with PWIs is more so on like the rival schools more so than just the PWI aspect. But yeah, because I had at Alabama State, it was always the real ASU. We're the real ASU. I don't know why Albany felt otherwise. I don't know why anybody. I don't understand.
Alcorn, who are you?
Like who? So that was like the little thing that I had to deal with at Alabama State. But like at Georgia Southern, it was always State versus Southern. Nobody else cared about anybody else. It was just State versus Southern. So that's what we were like going back and forth about, and it was fun. Yeah. I like it. I like the rivals. I like the rivalry.
I would have to say one of the hardest things about, and I hate to say this, but one of the hardest things, and I think I wouldn't say every HBCU has it, but most of them I've heard is the dorms. Like the living situations, we're not saying that they're terrible, but we're just saying, you could redo the dorms.
They make you appreciate being at home.
They do. They do. They do. And it also makes you want to get out more, for sure.
Seriously. And it was really bad in the winter because like I think we either had history together or something. I forgot. I had something with you. But like I never went to the class during winter because like the dorms floors were like freezing and then the whole dorm will be freezing. I'm not getting up if it's cold. I don't know why. Like, and I'm an early riser, but when it's cold, yeah. So that's probably why I was missing a lot of the classes because I'm just like, I got my work done and I'm A, but like I'm just not. It's cold. Like
it's cold. Yeah, no. And I would have to say, even though we were in the South, it would get cold. It seriously would get cold.
I didn't know Alabama got cold like that. I was so shocked. My mom's like, yeah, make sure you bring your coats. I don't need that. I'm going to Alabama, and I'm from Georgia, so like I'm just like, I mean, it shouldn't be that big of a difference. No, it's horrible. Like it was snowing at one point, I think.
Yeah,
like, it was very shocking.
But I can also say that it was definitely hotter than Atlanta. Did you ever have that issue?
Oh, it was, yeah. When it was hot, it was hot. And when it was cold, it was cold. It was never, and then the tornadoes. Why were they so close to us? I don't know. I remember there was one like by the dome, and I'm just like, what are we doing?
What is going on?
Everything. Oh my gosh. But that's one thing I can say though. The buildings were like sturdy enough to where if a tornado hit, I would be okay. So I mean, weather-wise, we were in good hands, but everything else, no. Like even the laundry, like Estelle was probably the better ones, like next to facilities.
Yeah.
But it was just not, it wasn't giving, Like,
it wasn't giving me what I needed. I love it. I love the energy. I love the energy. Yeah. Just talking about this makes me like, reminisce. I really do miss that HBCU atmosphere and feeling like, everybody around me is just wanting to strive and, do better. So let's start talking about PWIs. Let's switch the subject over. PWIs. How did you like yours? Like, how was Southern when you went? What was that like?
I can honestly say the typical things that people told me would probably be the problem wasn't the problem. Like people were like, oh, the white people, like, oh, they're gonna be the problem.
Right.
Honestly, I had more issues with us. Like it was very cliquey. Yeah, it was very cliquey and just very weird. And I love talking to everybody. I'm just always like in everybody's faces because it's just like, why not? And I love being involved in everything of that nature. But it's like if you weren't involved in certain things, sometimes it just wasn't you. Like you really can't speak to certain people unless they knew something of you, knew us. It was very just a if I know you or if I don't type situation. And that was just very weird to me. I had more fun at please stop. My cat is trying to get out the door. I had more fun when I would go out with like my white coworkers and my white friends at the schools and stuff. I had fun at my black friends stuff too, but it used to get like it was just very different. Like I remember this one incident at like Alabama State. Every time we had kickbacks and stuff like that at people's houses, we would lock doors behind us. I remember I came in the door, like at Georgia Southern, where I came into the apartment or whatever. Everybody's lit. I locked the door. All you hear is banging. So I'm like, hold on, like what's going on? And somebody was like, who locked the door? And I'm just like, you're not supposed to lock the door. Like, so that was a difference because I'm just like, so y'all don't lock doors? Like, because I was saying we locking everything, like cars, doors, like
closets.
Like I'm not leaving anything open. So think of that. But like once you did get involved, I can say the clicks weren't really a matter of it didn't matter. So once I got involved, it was okay. But it was just very I was expecting it for it to be the other way. But honestly, the white people were more warming in a sense. And for me to be coming from an HBCU, it's just like, okay, hey y'all. And it's just like, oh no. Oh.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, no, I understand that. That actually kind of reminds me of middle school. When I was in middle school, a lot of people would be like, "Why do you act white? Why do you talk so proper?" And so I wouldn't say like it was like, black people weren't trying to be my friends, but they were very skeptical of me. They were just really confused, and I was just like, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. This is just how I sound. I'm thinking like I sound like, a deep voice, a normal voice, and they're hearing, "Oh my gosh, let's go shopping." That's what they're hearing. And I'm over here thinking like I'm talking like a man, like, "Yo, what's up? Let's go." You know what I mean?
Oh.
And so yeah, no, I got that a lot at first. And it took a while for them to kind of get used to it and be like, that's just, her. Like it is what it is. So I totally understand that. And then as far as you're saying, like, lock your doors, I get that. So one time I went to see my cousin at her school, and she went to Birmingham Southern. Shout out to my cousin. She went to Birmingham Southern, and they have this honesty rule that, like, you could leave your laptop in the middle of, I guess, their quad or something, like out where the grass is. You could leave it there and then come back and it will still be there. So they had another rule of putting stuff outside of their rooms, like in the hallway, and they'll come back to it. And I went up there with my friends, and we were looking at them like, why don't they need to get their stuff out of the hallway? Like, we're getting a little nervous, like they're not going to get their stuff. And they're like, "Oh no, we have an honesty rule here." I said,
And
"Honesty?
you
What is?"
guys actually follow it?
Right. I was like, "What is that?" And she was just like, "We have an honesty rule where we just believe that if you leave something there, that we're going to be honest with ourselves, and just, it will be okay. Like, we won't have to worry about the stuff that's left behind." And I was just like, "That's crazy, because I can definitely tell you I lock my closet up, and that's in my room, and I'm a RA, so I'm the only one in my room."
I was gonna say, weren't you? Wow, like,
And I still lock my stuff up. I mean, I would leave my room, lock the main door to the suite.
the
I would
main
lock,
door
yes,
stayed locked. Like,
stay
stayed
locked on automatic lock. As soon as you walk out and it closed behind you, if you forgot your keys,
you're just stuck.
you
You're
forgot
stuck.
your keys. You're out of luck. That's it. That is most definitely
Yeah,
it. Because
definitely
I
different.
mean, you better go down to the office and ask them to let you in, because that is all I have for you. I mean, you would be SOL. So, that's interesting that you even brought that up, that's a factor. And I didn't know. I was just thinking that that's something they did at their school. I didn't know that's like a common thing that people just.
Like, you can just walk into somebody's thing and, like, it's like, "Oh, we're partying." No, I don't. At Alabama State, if somebody walks in and we don't know who you are, and
It's a
you didn't walk
problem.
in with somebody, we either gotta hurry up and leave because you kind of know, or you gotta get out. Like,
Yes.
why are you in? Why are you
Do
here?
we know you? Why are you here? We're asking questions. We're not
Exactly.
just assuming, like,
Oh, he's
you just
cool.
randomly,
No, or oh,
yeah,
she's
you just,
cool.
no,
I was
no.
in one situation like that, and let's just say guns started going off, and that's just not no.
It's not a good, no, it's not a good scene. It's not a good scene. And we're not saying this happens at HBCUs, at all HBCUs, or even at Alabama
Yeah,
State. We're
no,
not saying that.
yeah,
But we are saying the difference between, like, black and white people, just in general.
yes,
Black people lock their stuff. Like, I lock my car twice. I lock everything. I know I've had, white friends that would just be like, do, and be in class and be like, "Did I lock my car this time? It doesn't matter." No, go check your go
exactly.
check your stuff.
And it's like I do. It's like you really do see the difference, and it's like I just honestly feel like for a white person, it's more so of just battling life just with regular life things. But as a
Yeah.
black person, it's like you have to really think about extra on top of it.
Yes.
It's like I can't just be like, "Oh, well, I'm a lady, so I can't go out at night." No, I can't really do nothing. Like, I can't just walk. Like, it's just very like I always have to think about what I'm wearing, and I feel like that's women in general too. But like for a Black woman, it's just way different. Like, and for a Black man, it's just way different. So it was just, yeah, it was just very different. And then, like you said, with the whole middle school thing, that's how I was, because I lived in Colorado before I moved to Georgia, and I went from Colorado to DeKalb County. So if anybody knows, yeah, that's different. Yeah. So yeah, I was always the bougie white sounding. I have a little bit now, like I can kind of, talk a little, a little something. But that's only because I was there since 5. But literally from like 5 up, it would be, why are you hanging with that white girl? Or why are you? It was just very different. So going from an HBCU to PWI, I was used to all this around. I was very cultured in everything, I guess.
Right.
I was comfortable. I was comfortable around white people. I'm comfortable around Black people. I'm comfortable around mixed or non. I'm okay. As long as you're not acting funny towards me, we're good. So
yes, that's huge facts. Like, I think that's so important to be culturally diverse and to have those different friend groups and to just, grow up knowing different cultures. I always say, like, learning other cultures, and I've said this like a million times, but learning other cultures makes me appreciate mine more. Yeah, so for sure.
And it's just fun. It's just
fun. It is. Try something new, understand something, the way people think and react, and the way that they, do things, the reason why and stuff like that. So I get that 100%. So, oh no, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Oh no, I was just gonna say you're actually you'll be more warming and more accepting of people and understand, like, oh, you're only doing that because of this, so I can't just go in on you. Like, I understand that it's just a difference, and you have to respect that difference. They don't know, and I don't know what they know, or they don't know what I know. So it's just different. Like, you just have to respect people, and learning about different cultures really helps you respect people 10 times better.
10 times better. I couldn't have said it better myself, like, in class. That. Yes. So here's a question. Did you, because I know at Alabama State, when you would see a Black girl, you rarely ever saw her, especially at night, walking by herself. She was always with a group of friends, always. And so at Southern, did you ever see like white girls walking by themselves at night, or just random things? Like, yeah, really.
I saw Black people walking by themselves too, though. That was the crazy thing. Like, everybody was. It wasn't even just the white. It was every. It was just different down there. Like, people that I'm like, you grew up with me up here. We're doing things down there that I'm just like, so I guess it's safe down here to do that. Right. Like, yeah, everybody was doing it. I would see, like, at Alabama State, if I see a girl walking by herself, if I look to the left, she's meeting somebody, like, they're like this. So it was just very different. People would get on shuttles by themselves, and I was scared to kind of do that. I'm just like, that's why I literally talk to everybody. I should know at least one person on this bus. Like, I don't like being in places where I just look up and I'm just like, I can't say hey to somebody. Like, no.
Right.
No, I make it a point to, hi, I'm Shauna, and just
know your surroundings. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I did see that a lot. Like, little bitty people. Like, I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, you look like you're 2 walking. Like, okay.
At night jogging. Like, no. No, that's not okay. Like, it's a problem. It's an issue. Yeah, most definitely. Exactly. Yeah, because I always made sure, like, our campus was gated in. So it wasn't like, a lot of people were getting on. I mean, people could get on, but you'd have to get on walking by foot. You couldn't get on driving a car. So, I mean, that's a whole situation in itself. But even then, we would still, gated in or not, we would still, like, be walking in groups. Like, even I would have guy friends walking back to my dorm. Like, that's, if I'm not driving back to my dorm, you're walking me back. Like, they were walking at least halfway.
Yes. Like, I was a basketball manager at ASU, and if I wasn't walking with Rayland or something, actually Rayland used to, like, drop me off. Like, it was never like oh, you about to go back to the dorm? It was always just, somebody's walking with me. Y'all walking. Like, if you're even walking close, like, if you're going to MLK, I'm right there. So at least I can just jet. Like,
it was jet. Yes, no, I understand that 110%. Yeah. So here's another thing, because we already talked about food and we talked about the whole fried chicken Friday. I mean, I said fried chicken Friday, fried chicken
It
Wednesdays.
goes better.
Right? It does. It does. Okay, so tell us about like the food that you had to experience at the PWI. What was that like? Was it
Okay.
seasoned? I think everybody wants to know, was it well seasoned? I'm just saying.
Actually, well, people say I'm white a little bit when it comes to that stuff. I just learned how to season food, no lie. Like, and I love cooking. I just don't I'm just the under season type of person because I don't want to
Okay.
over season. So it's not that I don't know how to season. It's just that if you want more salt than that person, then you go do that. But honestly, they were like, it was like they actually had real chefs back there. Like, I
Ooh.
mean, I know they have that at HBCUs too, but it was more so just like a I'm here doing my job type thing. And if I do like it, I
Yeah.
can't really explore the way I want to.
Right.
These people are actually able to do. I mean, you had the regular wings and pizza every
Right.
and
Right.
stuff like that. But when they made stuff, they made stuff like, and it was just fun because like it was open. It
Mm.
like I had more hours to like go and be in there. It wasn't like a oh, we close from this and that, and then we close at this time. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm trying to remember because I went to not only a HBCU and a PWI, but I also went to a non-traditional. I was everywhere. Yeah.
Oh, you were.
Yeah, I was everywhere.
She's like, I
So
want to try something new.
literally, that's what you would think. But like, yeah, I want to say it closed at like 11, and I could have sworn like Alabama State closed at like 8, 9. So it was just easier because people were getting off of work. You can get off of work and go get some food, and it's not like you had to sit there. You can easily go in there, get the food, and then go. At Alabama State, I couldn't do that. I was getting off of work hungry.
You and that's another thing. You couldn't take the food out of the cafeteria.
Exactly.
You
And then
cannot.
at the PWI, it was more so of like you can take it out. They just don't need to see you sit. Like you can't sit
Mm,
and then take food. Like you
mm.
can't treat it like that. You still got to treat it like a buffet. So if I tell them like, hey, I'm just trying to get some food and go, they'll let me. At Alabama State, I kind of was able to sometimes.
Had
Sometimes
to put it on
some
top of
food
the
was back
plate, put it in your jacket.
there. Yeah. Or it just depended on who was back there. Like they knew that I
Yeah,
was on the basketball team, so they were just like, here's food type thing. But yeah,
yeah.
like it was honestly it was good and it was different. Like of course, over time, I mean, there's not that many different ways you can make food. So it's like over time, stuff did get kind of just like, I'm tired of this, but it was way better, way better.
Yeah, yeah. I can definitely imagine like how it was different. Um, just because for after like 3 years eating the same thing every single day, get
Every,
tired. because
every
because
single
that's
day.
all you that's sometimes that's all you're like, okay, I'm just gonna eat cereal again today for the fourth time in a row.
Like
Okay.
I'm telling you, fried chicken Wednesdays did not see me. They did not see me. Like I literally only went to talk and mingle.
Yeah.
That's about it.
The lines were terrible. They were, if you were not in there at like 11 before 12, if you weren't in there before 12, no.
And you had to be in there. Like it was to the point where I would just stay right there and just sit, and then other people see you sitting, so then you gotta hurry up and get up and then get in the line. You know the
Yeah.
dummy wall. I would be like bothered. I always never wanted to sit on the dummy wall. I made a mistake at sitting on that dummy wall one time, and I never sat there ever again. Like it was just like a no for me. It was just this dude literally walked up to the dummy wall and was like just talking to us, talking, okay, we're all talking and stuff. And then out of nowhere, I was like, yeah, I'm about to go to class. And he was like, who goes to class? And I'm looking at him like, what are you talking about?
How did
And
you get on campus, sir?
he was like, who even does work? Like, what are we doing? And I'm looking, I'm just like, do you even go here? This man was like 30 something.
No, get off campus. Get
I'm
off
like, why are you
campus.
even? So after that interaction, I never sat on the dummy wall ever. Like at least on that little part, I would sit on the
Yeah.
other part. I would walk past, speak, but no, because I felt how dumb it was. Like it felt
I'm crying. Did you guys have a lot of locals too? Or
at
at
uh
Southern?
honestly, I don't even know because like it was more older people there.
Mm.
So like I was in class with at the HBCU it was more so like more traditional. Like you
Mhm.
were around the ages of what, 17, 18 to
Right,
like
right. To like
26 maybe at the
yeah,
most.
maybe. Yeah.
But at Georgia Southern, it was like 15 to like 85. So like it was just very, yeah, it was very weird. But but most of the time in the actual class, I can say that I wasn't really with the 85-year-olds. I was more so with like probably the highest 27. But everybody looked, not trying to be, but they age differently. So yeah, I don't know how old they were unless I asked. So we just gonna leave it there. But yeah. So
Crying. Yeah. I have to say one of the things that I miss the most, because like I said, I ended up going to Georgia State when I graduated Alabama State. And
Southern, not state.
see. And one of the things that I can say that I miss the most is like I was in my diversity crowd, but I had got so used to just being around like, people who looked like me that it was just so strange going back. I was like, oh snap, yes, I am back. And even in the real world, I was very aware of like,
Yeah.
other nationalities and stuff, but like sitting in a classroom again and interacting again and making friends and starting all over, I was
It
like,
was different.
oh yeah, it's so different. It was so different.
And
It was
Georgia
great
State.
experience, but it was just like really different because it's like I was back in the state of mind of like having to, I wouldn't say code switch, but definitely like code switch. And
No, literally. Yeah.
yeah, for sure, for sure. And just being patient because like even though when I went to get my master's, like everybody in there, I was basically like the youngest person in there. So everybody in there had jobs, had their careers established by this point and stuff like that, and they were coming back to get their masters. So I mean, it was just a completely different feel. And then some of the people, like with the different cultures and stuff, they didn't understand of letting women, that women clash. And in our culture, we're known to be strong. We're known
Yeah,
to be
very
smart.
strong.
We know to come with it. We're known to do all this other stuff, but they're not used to that.
Yeah.
So it was definitely like it wasn't like a terrible clash, but it was definitely like something different for them. They were just kind of like, oh,
Being assertive and
okay.
everything. It's just like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they had to take a step back and understand that like some things it's not the same. Like
No,
I'm
definitely
not
not.
gonna be the one that's gonna be like, okay, yeah, no, I'm gonna speak up. I talk.
And you command a room with your, like, literally, you command a room. Like, I know it's you. I'm just like, I hear her. But yeah, no,
Okay.
you're amazing.
Okay. So is that something that you had to deal with going
I
like
did have to
switching up?
adjust.
Yeah.
I did have to adjust. And then it was worse because at Southern, you're deep, deep down. So we had a lot of different view. Like we had white people who had different views.
Yeah.
And to be that close, I mean, I live in Georgia now. I don't necessarily live like in Decatur anymore. I more so live in Lithonia, closer to like Conyers, if anybody knows what that stuff is. So I live around a lot of KKK type of things, but being in
Yeah.
Southern, it was way more. Like you were walking and people are literally just bold. I remember this one dude. This one dude tried to run me over. Well, like I'm not gonna really say necessarily run me over. He was playing, but like you're not playing because if I didn't move, you would have hit me. But like
Right.
he literally like revved his truck up and like zoomed towards me. And then when I moved out the way, all I see is a Confederate flag, and I'm just like, what are we doing? So that was very shocking. But I was in the HBCU mindset where it's just like, white
Oh,
people
we
are
about to blow his truck up. No, I'm just
like,
kidding.
I'm just like, okay. And then so I did have to get used to like different people speaking on different things. And then
Yeah.
like just even being in class with certain stuff, like um certain things that would come out of certain people's mouths, I'm just like, what did you just say? But it's like they just probably didn't know that was offensive. So you have to just kind of dial it down. But
Yeah.
I'm just like, no,
Yeah.
like, yeah, it was. It was different. And again, like I'm familiar with being around like how you grew up with mainly white people. Like I've been in situations where
Right.
I was always around different types of people, so it was just very different. And I know Georgia State, that's more than just white people. That y'all have every type
Yes.
of that's diverse. Like that's very diverse. So yeah, it was just like you kind of just had to get in the mindset of a person's a person, not necessarily like a person is the color, which I've never been that type of person, but being at an HBCU and then coming to a PWI, it was just like, okay, you're fine. Do you hear him? Oh
Yeah,
my
it's so
God.
adorable, so adorable.
I can't find it. Oh, okay. Sorry.
You're fine.
Oh my God. He talks like his name is Simba.
Aw.
Oh my GG. Okay, be nice. Sorry. Okay, I'm back.
You're fine, you're fine. Yeah, it was super diverse in Georgia at Georgia State for sure. Like we had some of everywhere. I mean, from South Korea to Egypt to I'm trying to think where else. I want to say somewhere in Africa. I can't exactly remember, but all over America, it was just different,
And that's
all
beautiful to
around.
be around. Like that's very I love being around different things because like you said, just learning about the different cultures and different even food. I love food. Down to the food. Like we had like international days and stuff like that, but I mean it was mainly it wasn't as diverse. It was more so like German, those
Yeah,
type.
right.
So like it wasn't like very, very broad, but I mean it was still fun. Like it was still fun learning about the different people and just being around more than just black people or more than just white. Like I like being around every little bit of thing. So like if I went to Georgia State, that would have been awesome. Cause like yeah. I mean but Georgia Southern is better, since I went there.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
what they all say.
It's better.
We know you really wanted to be a Panther. It's okay. It's all good. It's all good. It's
Ew.
cool.
No.
But
Ew. No.
before we go, let's talk about your YouTube vlog. Okay, so tell us what you do on
Okay, so I am a Gemini, so of course my thing is all over the place. I'm everywhere. I go from like on Mondays I do beauty, so that's hair tutorials. I'm trying to get into makeup. I don't know how to do my makeup, y'all. I literally can do my nails, my hair. I can do everything but makeup, so I'm learning. So that's a little thing. On Wednesday, it's like life. Blah, 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 blah. I'm doing like lifestyle things. I talk highly about mental health on my channel because I do suffer with severe anxiety. So just different ways to cope. I do different vlogs about how I'm doing with the different ways of coping. How just I live everyday life just naturally. I also talk about me. I mean, it's me. And then on Fridays, DIYs and like just different things. I love doing things with my hands and I love doing stuff for cheap. Like I do DIY photo shoots because I'm trying to get into being photogenic and things of that nature, but like it's hard. So I just set up different photo shoots and I just do them. So like just everyday life things and hacks. I love giving hacks. I love hacks about making money. I don't like working like that. I like making money, but I don't really like clocking in. It's the clocking in. I love working, but I don't like clocking in. So I give different like job opportunities as far as that too. So I'm all over the place. If you need stuff, just get at me. Subscribe to my channel.
subscribe. I'm gonna have all her information on the following slide next. So here's my other question. You do products, you test products. What kind of products do you test? How does that go?
So just DM me or email me. It's in my if you follow me on is it follow? If you follow me on Instagram, like my stuff would be in the bio. But yeah, I love testing out wigs. I love skin products, clothes, anything that you want to promote, I will promote. And I also love advertising. Like at any time that you have businesses or anything of that nature that you want to broadcast, like just send them to me. It's not going to hurt me to post. And I feel like if you're doing something that's honest and just something that you really care about, why not? I mean, like, even if it's not something that I really do, I can do to promote, if that makes sense. As long as it's not nothing crazy. Yeah.
No, I love that you support people and you're talking about, just, posting for different people. And there's a lot of people out there like, no, I won't post this or I da da da. But to see that, you love to see like someone taking that next step and just like being there and pushing it for them and stuff like that. I love that. And I definitely wish you the best success on your vlogging and everything that you have moving forward. I love to see, especially, and I'm going to say this and I don't care, especially Black women succeed, because there's just not enough of us in every industry. I don't care if it's just being a Black woman, it's just not enough of us. It's not enough.
Like
so I love to see you succeed. I love that you're doing it, you're killing it, and it's so amazing. So all of y'all, make sure you go follow her. You have been wonderful, literally, on this podcast. I've appreciated so much. Like, this has been wonderful, honestly and truly. I appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting me. Like, you guys better continue following this journey that she's going. Like, her podcasts are bomb. Like,
thank you.
Follow her YouTube, subscribe to her channel, because, like, why not?
Exactly, why not? Why not? And if you don't want to watch it, at least subscribe.
Subscribe and at least like a video.
I like a couple, at least you like 10. What's that gonna hurt?
Exactly, or just advertise it so the next person, if you don't like it, your friend might, your cousin might. Like, exactly. Just support.
Exactly. Support Black women. Support the both of us. Support. I love it. All right. So that is the end of the show. Thank you so much again for coming on.
Thank you.
Everybody watching, comment below. Say whatever, tell us if you liked it, all the above. Thank you so much. And again, I will have all her information coming up. All right. Peace, you guys.